Welcome to the Minneapolis Science Materials Center.
Hi, I'm Lynette Harton, and welcome to the Minneapolis Public Schools Science Department. This is where the magic takes place. We supply all the science kits and materials to the Minneapolis Public Schools. Okay, let's meet the rest of the staff.
I'm Cindy Jacobson, and I want you to know that we're very proud of the service that we offer the classroom teachers. We are here to serve you and help you make your jobs easier as best we can. Call us. Thanks.
I'm Sally Jorgensen, and I'm a retired faculty member from the University of Minnesota, where I taught biochemistry for about 30 years. And while I was there, I tried to recruit a number of people of color and women into science. And in the process, I was very discouraged by the fact that in the U.S. there were hardly any people going into science. Almost all of our graduate students were from other countries, mostly Asia. And I realized that we don't do a very good job of getting people turned on to science in the elementary school. So after I retired, I came over here and volunteered to try to make it easier for teachers to use the science kits so that they would get used and more kids would learn about science and get excited about science. And I've loved being here. It's really fun. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from the teachers about how they like having the kits organized, and so it's been great, and I like the people that I work with.
My name is Carrie Tan. I work here at the Science Center, and I oversee our student worker program and help with middle school and high school supplies. And I really like working for the Science Center because I think it's awesome that our kids get hands-on science experiences in the classroom.
Hi, I'm Julie Tangman, the K-5 Science Coordinator here at Minneapolis Public Schools, and my job is to support teachers at all elementary grade levels in their science instruction.
Hi, I'm Val, and I provide all the living science critters that go with the kits. And my favorite part of my job is the wide variety of things I get to do.
Hi, I'm Kim. Welcome to the Science Center. I love working here because we make science accessible to all of our students.
Hi, I'm Joe Alfano. I'm the K-5 STEM coordinator for Minneapolis Public Schools. I've been with the Science Centers for 14 years. I love this place. I think this is a really important asset to Minneapolis Public Schools and an important way of meeting the needs of kids and their learning styles.
Welcome to the Science Center. My name is Lucy, and I love working here, and I love being able to prepare hands-on science for our Minneapolis students.
Hi, I'm David, the delivery driver for the Science Center, and I spend my time moving the materials around. Bins like this for the science materials and living creatures for Val.
Minneapolis Science Centers have been around since the 1960s. In about 1967, our Science Center started under the leadership of Joe Primo, who was new to our district, and he became our science director. We began by having small regional science centers located throughout Minneapolis. Each science center had a teacher on special assignment who did staff development around the kits and helped teachers out in the classroom teaching science. And each science center also had a science educator who would refurbish the kits and get them ready for the classroom. Together, this teacher and the science educator actually delivered the kits to the buildings back and forth. Our philosophy has always been that kids learn science best by engaging in science, and that concepts, skills, and knowledge are taught best through experiences, and that science is a joyful endeavor for students. Lately, we've added that science is the best way to teach literacy, that it's a wonderful context, it's engaging, and it helps kids with their language as they read, write, speak, and listen. Over the years, we have shrunk from several science centers that were located around Minneapolis to just one here at the North Star building. Currently, we service 39 Minneapolis public schools and all the K-5 teachers in those buildings. This service includes living things. The beauty of our operation is that we are able to rotate our units with materials completely stocked, classroom ready, and teacher teacher-friendly. Because our units are rotated through the district, we need, on average, only 1 unit per 3 teachers. Because we are central operation, we can purchase materials in bulk, which provides large discounts to Minneapolis Public Schools. Welcome to our Science Center.
Our science modules are designed to provide multiple exposures to standards-based science concepts. Core ideas in science are complex, and science understanding is essential for all our students. There are things students can and should understand in primary grades, and these concepts progress in complexity as students develop and gain experience. Our science core curriculum is carefully organized in learning progressions for grades K through 5 and beyond. What is taught and assessed in each grade level builds on the previous year's work. Science is expected to be taught throughout each year of a Minneapolis Public Schools student's education. These modules are organized into core disciplines, physical, life, and earth sciences. In addition, in every module, students engage in understanding scientific practices and explore engineering design. Through K-12 in Minneapolis Public Schools, students should have consistent opportunities to carry out scientific investigations and engineering design projects. We work to provide the foundational knowledge for those who will become scientists, engineers, technologists, and technicians of the future. Each module takes 6 to 12 weeks to teach. The investigations are organized around science pedagogy that facilitates active and thought-provoking work for young scientists. Each investigation begins with questioning and planning, setting curiosity and purpose. Students move into hands-on activities, working as scientists, putting things together, taking things apart, observing systems or interactions, and conducting experiments. Teachers scaffold and guide students with word banks, definitions, graphic organizers, and writing frames to carefully document the work done in class. Last and most importantly, students make meaning. After careful analysis, discussion, and writing, students are able to support their ideas, their claims, with evidence they've collected. These ideas are the foundation of their science learning. We support teachers with the hands-on materials, the essential summative and formative assessments, and lessons to maintain the highest quality science program possible. All right, good morning. We are here at Science Kit Sign Up. We visit all of the sites in Minneapolis every May with the Science Center staff and someone from the science department to get all of the classroom teachers signed up for their kits. We have 28 different kits, K through 5, that the teachers sign up for. Most grade levels have anywhere from 3 core kits all the way up to 5 core kits that they need to fit in during the year, and we have quite an elaborate rotation that we do so that we don't have to have a science kit for every single classroom in Minneapolis. We have ways of sharing our kits, and with that we end up putting in and out of the Science Center roughly 4,000 kits across roughly 750 classrooms across the district each year. And right now we've got some 4th grade teachers signing up for their kits for next year.
Hi, Val here again. Welcome to the Living Materials Center. I was hoping to share with you a little bit about the Living Materials Center and about what I do here. The Living Materials Center is known as the headquarters for living science organisms for kindergarten through 9th grade. And all the living organisms that we provide are specifically designed to go with the hands-on science kits that are provided by the Science Center. An example of one of our kits is for kindergarten. We have animals 2x2. The little kindergartners study different animals such as 2 different kinds of fish, 2 different kinds of worms, 2 different kinds of isopods, and the most important thing that they learn are all the things that living things need to survive. The Living Materials Center provides living materials for every grade level. Students could be studying life cycles with the butterflies. They could be studying structures of life, where they study crayfish and other crustaceans that have very, very specific structures to help keep them alive. Students also plant many different types of plants, such as these fava beans, where they have little aphids that will feed off of the fava beans. Students study microorganisms and germs. So here at the Living Materials Center, I wear very many hats. It's kind of like a one-man pony show, although on Tuesday it is extremely busy and Lucy Moody also helps me. And what we do, we prep all the critters for delivery, we drive them out to every school. The teacher gets to order exactly what week they want their shipment, and each school has a designated delivery day. All the critters are returned that don't end their life cycle in the classroom, and we reuse them, saving a lot of money. For example, we have our little anole in here that looks like the anole is hiding. It is now the end of the school year, and we purchased this anole last fall. So all the critters that have a fairly long life cycle will get reused, saving the district a lot of money and just making us feel better about doing our part of keeping these little guys alive. And so of course, with this comes all of the dirty jobs of cleaning the cages and washing the dishes. All our containers are reusable as well, so we expect all our containers to come back. And it's kind of like a little pet shop in here. It's like a biology room. We have all sorts of plants that we plant to keep our aphid cultures or populations growing. For example, this little fava bean, if we had to purchase it with 100 aphids on it, would cost us about $33. Instead, we can buy beans from the Holy Land Deli, plant them, and take one population weekly from one plant to the next and just keep the population growing throughout the entire school year. A few examples of other critters that we have that are pretty interesting are the best beetles here. And the best beetles are actually, with their fancy little structures, go along with our crayfish in the Structures of Life kit. And these little cuties that are shiny are also called patent leather beetles, like the patent leather shoes. And they actually are quite strange, where you have to provide rotting wood. They will eat the rotting wood and get no nutrition. And then once that passes through their body, they will eat what passes through their body, and that's where they get their nutrition. So there's a lot of very interesting facts that the students are learning about each living critter. Hi, it's April 24th, and today, Wednesday, all of our crew here at the Science Center have been feverishly packaging bags for each school with a second grade classroom. All their little caterpillars that are going to be going out, part of the insects kit where they study life cycles. And here we have some painted lady caterpillars, which is the larva stage for each little caterpillar, packed in some very special food. Each classroom will be receiving one set of caterpillars. They've already received their cage. They've received their manual and a very special butterfly feeder. They'll be drinking sugar water, and eventually the adult butterflies will be laying eggs on the butterfly feeder, and those little eggs will hatch, and they will have a full, complete life cycle.
Hi, my name is Kristen Shanley. I teach science at Bethune Elementary School. I teach High 5, which is pre-kindergarten up to 5th grade. So I teach the entire school science, and one of my favorite FOSS units is the unit called Insects. It's for 2nd grade, and I actually have some of the insects with me right now. One of the reasons why I like this unit so much is that students actually get to have their own insect in front of them. They get to observe it, they get to write about it, they get to share their writing in front of the whole class. They get to work with partners, and this ties into the standards as far as knowing what things an insect or what things an animal needs. So they create the little home, which is just a little cup with air holes in it. They give it food, they give it fresh apple slices for water. That's how the mealworm gets its water. So students really have a responsibility to take care of their mealworms. And another thing that is so awesome about this is they get to see the changes over a course of a few weeks, how it's first in the larva stage, which is a little worm, and then after a couple weeks it will turn into the pupa stage, and the pupa stage, it doesn't really do anything, it just kind of hangs out, and the students always think, my mealworm's dead, it's not doing anything, and I always tell them, just kind of touch it a little bit and it might twitch. And then after about 10 days, 2 weeks, it will turn into a beetle, which is the adult stage. So to see this incredible thing happen in the course of just a couple weeks and the students get to experience it, I think is just amazing. Something else that I think is incredible is the idea that we're introducing new vocabulary every single day with them. Every day they're learning different vocabulary. And I think with such a hands-on unit, the vocabulary makes sense to them because they're not reading it in a book. They actually get to live it, they get to experience it, it's right in front of them. So when we're learning about a habitat, when we're learning about the different parts of an insect, they can be like, oh yeah, I saw that. Oh, there, I have my hand lens in front of me. I can point out, the thorax of a beetle, or whatever the body part is. So I think that's one of the reasons why I like this unit so much, is just to have the insect right in front of us, take care of it, ties into the standards, and just a huge sense of responsibility. So one of the reasons why I really like the FOSS units, and I think the students get a lot out of it, is because unlike a textbook where they're just reading it out of a book, they have it right in front of them, they get to touch it, they get to feel it, they get to use all of their senses, which is huge for students to be able to, tap into that. So I'm all for the FOSS units. I think the kids just absolutely love it, and I think it's better than just reading a book. My second grade students had a positive reaction when I taught the air and weather unit to them. We did it at the beginning of the school year, so there was a lot of different changes that were happening in the weather. We had the rain, we had the wind, and we did a couple different things with it. One of the first things that we did with the students was they created their very own wind vane, which shows the direction that the wind is coming from. And I remember after they created it, we went outside and we stood outside and we held up our wind vanes, and every single one went in the same direction, and they felt so good about themselves, like they had accomplished creating this scientific tool that was used by meteorologists. And they were like, Miss Shanley, it's working, it's working. And it was like, well, of course it's working. You built it. A wind vane shows you where the wind is coming from. So it made sense that all the wind vanes would point in the same direction. Another reason that I like this kit is that it ties in to what they see in real life. It ties into connections that they can make outside. For example, we had the rain gauge, and they know what it's like when it rains outside and their boots get wet, or their pants get wet. So we measured, we had a rain gauge outside, and we put it in a place, and then we looked at how much rain we had in the course of maybe 2 weeks. Something else that we did was we created an anemometer, and the students didn't create their own, we just created one class anemometer, and we had it up in the classroom. I brought in some fans, and we watched how fast the rotation was, and so that gave us an idea of what the speed of the wind was. And then we brought it outside, and the reason why we brought it outside was to see what the wind speed was and to see if it would be a good day to fly our kites, because in this kit the students also make kites. They make their very own kites with paper, streamers, string. They go through a whole step-by-step on how to create the kites, and then you get to bring them outside. So if you use your anemometer outside and it's going really fast, the kids understand that, oh, today would be a good day to fly our kites.
Hi, I'm Sarah Page. I teach science at Marcy Open School from kindergarten to 4th grade. So the thing that I like best about teaching these modules from Boston, from Minneapolis, is that the kids are naturally interested in the world around them, and all of these modules embrace that, and the kids come in from day one interested in the activities that we're doing in here and interested to learn about how things work and how they work together, and getting the vocabulary and having it all pieced together is part of the magic that makes this all gel together, and the kids are super excited about coming to science. And I was just going to add that one of the ways they do modify or add to the modules is using the Discovery Education streaming that we have available online, and also Brain Pop videos, which just, that element of video, I guess, that maintains their interest and helps them see how what they're learning in class really is in the real world. They love how that all comes together too, so I do use those frequently in my class as well. The kids have a natural interest in the world around them, and all of the modules are based on that. For instance, just kindergarten exploring, like fabric and wood and water. The kids are super into that, and the animals 2x2. And then thing with the kites and just the wind exploration part of it, that's just so exciting. And the beginning part, when we actually start with learning about air and air exploration, every piece of it, that's from talking about the vocabulary, and then as they do the explorations, you can really see how doing the hands-on activities helps solidify the vocabulary. And then you hear them using it the next day after we've talked about what it is, and then the next day they'll use that vocabulary again. Like, for example, the pumping of the syringe, and talking about the air being compressed, and then how air pressure is what causes the movement, like, or causes you can propel the other syringe out. And the next day we use that same principle in the fountain effect, with the air taking up space and then the pressure that moves the air out. So they're really well put together in terms of the steps of the modules, and then keeping the kids interested from the get-go.
Oh, look at it. What did you draw here? Whoa, little stripes that they have on there. Those are little segments.
You can put them on a plate today.
Do they both have that? Yeah.
Take the apple and put it on.
This is a really, really good piece.
No,
I wonder if they're going to go towards it. Are you two partners? That's okay. You still just get one apple.
That's mine, and are you? Oh, that's the bun. I'm right. One eats an apple. Yeah. Love apples.
Oh my goodness, look it.
Where we go? It's over there. Right there. Look at that big. Goodbye.
This one's kind of taking its time. Who knows what body part it's using?
It's tongue.
It's kind of like a tongue.
Proboscis.
There they go right there. I think it's a proboscis. This one still doesn't want to come out there.
My name is Ashana, and I'm in second grade. I go to Bethune Elementary School, and I'm in second grade. And the things I know about butterflies are the three stages: a larva stage, pupa stage, and an adult stage.
My name is Nevaeh. I go to Bethune. I'm in second grade, and I learned that butterflies don't move that fast when they first come.
Thank you for visiting the Science Center.